To start off, can you state your name?
Gloria Luz Bermejo Sanchez.
And your occupation?
Administrative tech for the City of Fort Worth Staffing Partners.
Okay, and what was your birthday, if you wanted to share with us?
March 20th, 1951.
Okay, thank you. Just to start off with, I'm going to ask you, where did your family come from, if you're not originally from the U.S. or Fort Worth, and when they got to Fort Worth?
Okay. My father was born in Alvarado, Texas. My mother was born in San Antonio, Texas. My grandparents, my father's parents, my grandmother was from San Antonio, and then my grandfather was from somewhere in Mexico. I would tell you, but it just skipped.
Sorry.
And then my mother's parents, they were from Mexico.
Okay. And you don't remember what they're from?
I know for sure that my grandfather was from Saltillo.
And they came directly to Fort Worth when they immigrated here? Or did they go to South Texas?
They went to, let's see, they went to Alvarado. And then that was my father's parents, went to, I guess, they made their life in Alvarado. From that point, before that, I have the documents at home. Okay. I didn't know I was going to do this until now.
How did your family get to Fort Worth?
How did what?
Your family get to Fort Worth?
Because of the railroad. Both of them, both my grandparents worked with the railroad.
Okay. So and your parents were born here? So
yes.
You're a second generation Fort Worth person. And what neighborhoods did you grow up in Fort Worth?
In TP, West Side, Fort Worth.
Okay.
Barrio de TP.
And were you a member of any community organizations or in the TP neighborhood?
Hija de María in San Mateo. The CYO in San Mateo.
And what were these? What was that organization?
The CYO Catholic Youth Organization. This was all during my youth, and the daughters of Mary, Hijas de María. It's a religious
group. What church was it?
San Mateo.
San Mateo. Okay. And what schools did you go to?
Brooklyn Heights Elementary, Stripling Middle School, and Trumbull Tech.
Okay. And did you have siblings?
The first of 11.
First of 11?
Yes.
If you remember 11 names, could you tell me your siblings' names from oldest to youngest?
Yes, okay. Myself, I'm the firstborn, and then comes Maria Dolores, well, I guess I won't tell you their last names. Maria Dolores, there's Francisca Virginia, Sandra Alicia, Ricardo, Juan Alberto, Javier Martín, María Esperanza, Cecilia, Ruben, and Imelda.
And do all of them still live in Fort Worth?
No, not all of them.
Can you tell me the ones that live in Fort Worth?
Yes, one is in New Jersey, and Maria Dolores is in California.
And which one is in New Jersey?
New Jersey, Juan Alberto.
Okay. And do you have your grandparents' names?
Francisco and Carmen.
And that's from your mom or your?
That's from my dad. And then on my mama's is Simon and Petra.
Okay.
Perez.
And both of your grandfathers were railroad workers?
Yes.
Did they stay with the railroad? Or
yes.
Okay.
To the end.
And your grandmothers, were they homemakers? Or
yes, they were. They were homemakers.
Well, one final question would be, part of our project is the TCU side of it is to record the African American and Mexican American relations of Texas, and specifically in this project, Fort Worth. Do you remember in your childhood or your youth the state of African American and Mexican American relations, if any existed, if they did exist, how they were?
Going to Trimble Tech in the 60s, that was when it was segregated at that time. They were mixing, and so that was my first with African American. My maid of honor was an African American. We grew up going to TC, JC, and like that, working at the post office, both of us.
Was your generation the first generation of Mexican Americans and African Americans that got to intermingle?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time and for your history. And we kept getting all day people that saying either, oh, we were before integration or after integration. And you're the first person we got to interview that experienced it.
Yes, and yeah, well, it was great. I loved it.
Well,